What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. My name is Dylan and this is Vanboy Auto Styling. In this video we are going to be vinyl wrapping the roof on the F30. Going with a gloss black from Vvivid. I'm going to be going over removing the shark fin antenna as well as just prepping the roof for wrap and getting it wrapped. So it's probably going to be more of a voiceover video this time. I don't think I'm going to be mic'd up. It's going to be a lot of two-handed work, so I'm going to try to just position the camera in some places where you can see what I'm doing and just get to work. So yeah, let's go ahead and roll the intro and then we'll get into the wrap job. Alright, so what I'm doing here first is masking off the shark fin antenna on the roof of the car, and that's just because I'm going to be using a razor blade to cut out the silicone adhesive that's currently gluing that down to the roof of the car. So you just want to mask that off with some painter's tape or something like that, just to make sure that you're not going to damage the paint as you go at it with the blade. So taking my time here, making a lot of passes, slowly cutting away at that silicone. See here, I've to clean off my blade a lot. This was pretty tricky, took a good amount of effort, but slowly but surely it eventually started to come off. See here, I've got that side pretty much done, and once you can kind of rock it over to one side, it gives you a lot more freedom with the blade. So should be getting it free here any second. Here we go. And in just a second here, I should be showing you guys up close what that looks like. So as you can see, there's a little ring of black silicone that was keeping that glue down to the car. So what I'm doing here is now taking that blade again and just cutting off as much of the excess as I can. And that's just to give myself as clean and flat of a surface for when I go to reapply new adhesive silicone onto there. So just taking my time, definitely cutting away from myself, just getting it as smooth as possible. Didn't waste too much time on this just because the wrap itself took a lot of time. So I went ahead and did the same thing on the roof of the car. Tried using some Goo Gone. Here I'm taking off that extra little plastic cover over the antenna, but here I'm trying to use some Goo Gone to get off the silicone adhesive that is on the roof of the car still. Wasn't too successful with that. What actually gave me the best results here is using a plastic scraper tool wrapped in a microfiber to just kind of eat away at some of that. But again, it doesn't have to be completely gone. You just want it to be nice and smooth so that when you reapply the adhesive, it has a good connection and that there's no gaps in there. So what I'm doing next is using some rubbing alcohol to then get off that Goo Gone that I had put on the car, just because that's definitely not going to allow the vinyl wrap to stick. And then using that rubbing alcohol to wipe down the entire roof of the car. Going ahead and opening that sunroof because the wrap will be cut to fit. So you have to have that sunroof open. Very important to remember to open that before you lay the wrap down. What I'm doing here is using a pencil as well as I think a ratchet or something like that to push down the little flap that comes out of the sunroof, and that's just to get it out of the way of the wrap. What's coming next is getting out the rails that run alongside the roof. So I'm using a plastic trim tool to peel that up, and it comes up one tab at a time. You just want to be careful to kind of pull very close to the part that's still stuck to the car. You don't want to pull from too far away and risk snapping this piece. It is a color-coded piece, so if you break that, they are pretty expensive to replace. Doing the same thing over here on the other side. Nice and easy to come out without too much effort. So what I'm doing now is using a microfiber with some alcohol to clean out that channel. It gets pretty dirty, as you can imagine. A lot of rain going through there. So just getting that a pretty good wash so that the vinyl can actually stick down into the channel, because that is where we're going to be tucking our sides there. Finally getting to the good part here. Getting the vinyl out. This is the pre-measured 5 foot by 6 foot roll found on Amazon. It is Vvivid. What I'm doing here is attempting to see if it's going to fit long ways, because that would provide me with the most extra vinyl. I did want to use some of this for other parts of the car. But as you see here, I realize that isn't going to work. Also, pro tip, use some magnets to hold the vinyl down as you go to trim. So you can see here I've got a couple random magnetic objects in my garage that I've used, but they work perfectly. So I cut off a little bit of excess there, and we are now getting ready to start peeling up some corners and getting those stuck down. So you can see I just peeled a corner and stuck it so that it stayed, and now I'm going to the other side, starting at the corner, peeling, and then I'm going to start rolling this backing paper back. So you want to try to roll the paper off nice and clean and get a nice decent lay with the vinyl. Mine was pretty wrinkly, but it's okay because you can always pick it up and reposition it. And as you can see, starting now, I am starting to struggle, trying to figure out where I'm going to start with the vinyl. Going into this, I didn't think the roof was going to be too hard, but I don't know if it's just the concave shape of the BMW roof, but it was pretty difficult. It was giving me a lot of trouble. Started over and over again a lot of times. So all those wrinkles you see there is actually in a protective liner that's on top of the vinyl, which was really good because I was squeegeeing a lot, picking it up, putting it down, so that protected the vinyl for as long as possible until I had to take it off eventually. So as you can see there, I peeled it back to give myself some more wiggle room as I had cut out the sunroof hole there. Again, still having trouble here. This took me a lot of time. As you can see here, I'm having a lot of trouble with the vinyl. Trouble with the vinyl. Trouble with the vinyl. Trouble with the vinyl. Having a lot of 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 trouble with the vinyl. Vinyl. Alright guys, so as you can probably tell, I was struggling with that vinyl wrap. That was pretty difficult. I've vinyl wrapped the whole car before, I think I've told you guys that, with that Honda Civic. I don't know how. I was in like sage mode or something when I was able to do that. This roof was pretty hard for some reason. I kept ending up with some slack on kind of a corner, so getting that figured out was really hard. The camera ended up dying while I was recording, and I think it took me about 3 hours in total that night, but it is all done now, so let me reveal that to you guys. So this is the car with the roof completely wrapped. It did end up coming out really nice. Very happy with it. I think it just gives it a much more modern vibe. Vvivid is a great brand. It was very repositionable. I had to pick it up and put it back down a lot. And having that guard on it was really nice. So overall, if you have to do it, Vvivid is a great brand to go with. It was pretty cheap on Amazon as well. I'll link down the materials that I bought. With the shark fin antenna, I didn't get to show you guys, the mailman over there. I didn't get to show you guys putting that back down. Basically, I just bought some adhesive silicone, and where I had cut it off, I just put another layer of that on there, stuck it down, let it heal overnight, and it is perfectly stuck to the car as it should be. So no issues there, no leaking. Everything came out nice. Overall, really happy with it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching what was supposed to be a tutorial, what ended up being me struggling. But if you liked this video, or if you found it funny or entertaining at least, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I do want to continue growing on here. I'm really enjoying making these videos for you guys. And I'm enjoying all the support from the subreddits, the F30 subreddit, and the comments as well. So be sure to subscribe so you can see more of what I'm doing here. If you'd like to support the channel, I do make car decals and banners. I sell those on Etsy, so I'll link my Etsy shop down below. And again, follow me on Instagram at Vanboy Auto Styling, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.